Hey everyone, and welcome back to another deep dive here on Think Outside the Box. I always find these word of the year things pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it really kind of gives you like a little snapshot of the
Yeah,
year.
of the zeitgeist, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like what were we all thinking about? What was,
Mhm.
really kind of top of mind? And this year, the Cambridge Dictionary,
Okay.
they chose manifest as their word of the year for 2024.
Manifest, yeah.
Manifest. So I thought that would be a really interesting one to unpack a little bit today because
Yeah.
it's a word that maybe you think of like old pirate ships,
Right.
or manifest destiny, something
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
But now it's really all about visualizing your dream life and attracting what you want.
Absolutely.
So I'm really curious to get into like, how did this shift happen?
Well, yeah, you're right. It is a word that's really kind of taken on a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
The traditional meaning of manifest, it really means to make something clear or obvious or evident. But the way we're using it now, it's all about, like you said, attracting what you want by
Mhm.
like really focusing your intention on it and, believing that it will happen.
Yeah, it seems like it's everywhere now, right? I mean, everyone's talking about manifesting.
Yeah.
You've got celebrities like Dua Lipa, Simone Biles,
Oh, yeah.
even like everyday people on TikTok. I mean,
Totally.
do you think maybe what we've all been through in the last few years, like with the pandemic,
Oh, for sure.
did that play a role in this whole manifesting thing becoming so popular?
I definitely think so. I mean, when times are uncertain, people naturally look for ways to feel more
Right.
in control,
Right.
right? And the idea that you can kind of will things into being
Yeah.
by just thinking about them,
Yeah.
that can be a really powerful idea.
Appealing for sure.
But we have to be careful here because
Yeah.
there's a big difference between positive thinking
Right.
and what we call magical thinking.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
There was a psychologist, Dr. Sander Bender Linden, and he was saying that there can be some real downsides to this whole manifesting thing.
Mm.
If people start to believe that they can just wish for something and it'll magically happen,
Yeah.
then they might not actually take the steps that are necessary
Right.
to achieve their goals.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like you still got to put in the work.
exactly.
Right. It's not just about like wishing on a star.
Yeah,
It's about setting your intentions and then
Yeah.
taking action to make them happen.
absolutely. And that's where that line gets a little blurry, right?
Yeah. Where's that sweet spot between
Right.
positive thinking and magical thinking?
Exactly. You need belief, right?
Mhm.
But you also need to be realistic.
Right.
Thinking you can manifest good health
That's right.
and skipping your doctor's appointments, that's just dangerous.
Right.
Or all those like manifest money fast schemes.
Yeah.
You see online, they prey on people's desire
Yeah.
for a quick fix.
For sure. Sure.
And, that can lead to,
Bad decisions.
yeah, some really bad financial trouble.
Right.
So it's all about balance, right?
Interesting. So manifest wasn't the only word that Cambridge
Right.
noticed was trending this year.
Yeah.
There were a few other interesting ones too.
Yeah.
Like Brett Demure and even Goldilocks.
Interesting.
So I'm curious, what's the story behind those words?
Well, I think those words tell us something about the way society is changing.
Oh. Okay, how so?
Like the word Goldilocks, for example, they were using that a lot when they were talking about India's economy.
Hmm.
How it's not growing too fast or too slow. It's just, right?
Oh, I see. Like the porridge.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. I wouldn't have made that connection.
Yeah. So, how does Cambridge actually choose their word of the year?
Right. Is it just about like what's trending on social media or?
No, it's more than that.
Okay.
They definitely look at search frequency.
Yeah.
But they also think about things like, how relevant the word is to what's going on in the world and what it means from a linguistic perspective.
So it's like a bigger picture.
Right. Like with manifest, it reflects this whole idea of people wanting to be more in control of their lives, especially in these uncertain times.
So it's not just about what's popular. It's about capturing
Great.
a feeling.
Yeah, like the spirit of the times.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about those other words for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
What about like Brat and Demure? Like, how do they fit into all of this?
Well, Brett, I think that's kind of interesting because it seems like it's making a comeback. And maybe that's because more young women are feeling empowered
Okay.
to be assertive and speak their minds.
Interesting.
And then demure, on the other hand, it seems like people are using that more ironically now.
Okay.
Like they're kind of poking fun at the old-fashioned idea that women should be all quiet and submissive.
I see. Yeah, like reclaiming it in a way.
Exactly. And, It's amazing how language can change like that.
Yeah, it really reflects
Yeah,
what's happening in society.
it really does.
So, for all of us listening out there, what do you think this whole manifest thing says about us?
Hmm. That's a good question.
Now, we've talked about the word itself, how it's changed, and
Yeah.
what it might mean for our culture.
I think it shows that we all want to feel like we have some control over our lives,
Yeah.
especially when things feel uncertain.
Right.
We want to believe that we can create our own reality.
Yeah.
But I think it also shows that we need to be careful
Yeah.
not to get too caught up in magical thinking.
Right.
We have to balance that optimism with a little bit of realism.
Yeah, and some critical thinking too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, I want to hear from you all. What do you think about the word manifest?
Mm,
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing or somewhere in between?
yeah.
Let us know your thoughts, and remember to keep thinking outside the box.
Always.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.